This is a training review on accessing and using the LCH Helipad. This training is in 3 parts, and if one is flying on the team, there will be a 4th. You must take and pass this module on Cornerstone. You must receive a hands-on, documented review on the helipad using the correct form. Your trainer will know which one. You must know the procedure for using the alternate landing zone on the east loading dock surface lot. In this module, we will cover how to access the LCH Helipad, the helipad lobby area, the helipad deck and port, emergency exits, and actions to take when an aircraft is en route to or on the helipad. The helipad access is restricted and only accessible after training and ID access is granted. While one may need to go to the pad for a variety of reasons, aircraft landings require security to be made aware of, and an officer must be present at the time of landing. The helipads are only accessible from the 2 large service elevators. Badge access is required. Time-sensitive arrivals or immediate access to the helipad can be expedited using a special override key that is available in the transfer center. It is not routine to do this and should only be done when absolutely necessary. Once in the elevator car, use the badge reader to scan your badge. Then press the HP button on the panel. The helipad lobby area contains equipment and supplies necessary to provide care, retrieval, and safety to you and the patient. Personal protective equipment provides protection from infectious or potentially infectious patients. Hearing protection is always required when meeting a running aircraft. There are gurneys available to retrieve both isolette and stretcher for any aircraft. Under these are oxygen, resuscitators, and cleaning supplies. The helipad has its own automatic lighting that comes on at night, but more can be turned on onto the walkway and the pad. Fire suppression is important. You need to know how to put out small and large fires, as well as notifying others by fire alarm. There is a fire extinguisher in the lobby area, as well as a pull station that sets off an alarm and activates the foam suppression system on the pad. Badge access is required to open the helipad doors. These doors should stay closed while an aircraft is landing or taking off. Next, we will talk about the helipad deck and port itself. Components of this section cover what you need to know about the pad itself. The helipad sits on a raised platform off of the roof of the building. The walkway to the pad has a mildly increasing grade with a yellow safety border. The deck and walkway is lined with a chain link netting to catch equipment or someone that falls over the edge. The walkway also has wheel stops to stop anything that rolls to the edge. As noted earlier, the lighting for the helipad comes on automatically. Light switches in the lobby provide extra lighting beyond the automatic lighting. The helipad has an automatic thermostat system that provides automatic heating and thawing of ice in the event of freezing weather. The fire suppression system on the helipad is a state-of-the-art foam system that sprays from nozzles located at the corners of the pad. It will saturate anything on the pad with this foam when activated. As in the helipad lobby, fire pull stations are located at the 2 exits off the helipad. These should only be pulled in the event of an actual fire. The steps off the deck that are adjacent to the main helipad doors provide a route around the east side of the helipad to the northern end of the roof. The west end of the helipad has a route that leads to the roof and the maintenance floor area below. Next, we will talk about helipad hazards. Hazards on the helipad include any debris and trash, loose clothing and sheets, water and ice, low lighting, as well as the excessive wind created by rotor blades, commonly known as rotor wash. Part of security's job is to check for helipad hazards such as trash that is on the helipad. Work crews may leave items on the helipad as well, and these obviously need to be removed prior to aircraft arrival. Ground-level helipads are particularly prone to blowing debris, as in the alternate landing zone and at referring hospitals, which we will discuss shortly. Particulate matter, such as sand and dirt, will be blown in a blasted fashion and can be blinding to anyone experiencing rotor wash. Gurneys used to meet patients on an aircraft should have sheets removed. Anything adjacent to the aircraft on its arrival or departure will be picked up and blown away or scattered by this excessive wind. Water and ice create slip hazards and also can be blown by rotor wash. Traction can be a problem. Use caution when the helipad is likely wet. Low lighting situations create a level of hazard due to lower visibility. Be sure to maximize lighting if there is not enough lighting available. Although covered already, all helicopters create rotor wash due to tremendous winds the rotor blades create, particularly during lifting and landing. Mitigating hazards prior to an aircraft landing or departing is paramount. Security should always do this, particularly on the ground level pads such as the Le Bonheur alternate landing zone. It is important to understand the process of meeting an aircraft with the patient's and your safety in mind. We will cover this next. Helicopters generally land with the patient access doors of the aircraft facing the main helipad doors. This may mean the nose is at an easterly or a westerly direction. As noted, security must be on the helipad for all aircraft arrivals. Security officers must wear hearing protection. Security is not expected to assist in offloading the aircraft, but rather to identify and clear any hazards on arrival. Provide assistance in guiding the gurney to and from the helipad as it is on the walkway. They should position themselves as shown when a patient is being retrieved from the aircraft. This video demonstrates the retrieval of a patient from the helipad. Another point to know about meeting an aircraft is the differences in meeting a hospital wing aircraft or another aircraft, as well as the terms hot and cold offload. Hot offload and load means the engine is running and the rotors are turning. Cold is obviously when the engine is off and the rotors are not turning. Only hospital wing aircraft should be hot offloaded and then must only be done with pediatric and adult patients. Isolate transports always require a cold offload due to the need to efficiently communicate and the extra stress created on the neonate when the outside rotor noise is introduced. Sometimes the winds are too great to safely land on the helipad on the roof. The alternate landing zone is the loading dock area on the east side of the hospital. Landing here requires several coordinated efforts with the transfer center, the person meeting the aircraft, and security. Landing here requires several coordinated efforts with the transfer center, the person meeting the aircraft, and security. Those working in the area have a crucial role as well. The area marked with a red H in this graphic is where the aircraft lands. though there is not an actual H painted on the ground in the dock area. The manhole covers are painted orange and are used as landmarks by the pilot to guide the aircraft in. These need to be repainted periodically. Security will work quickly to assure the area is prepared. This includes blocking the loading dock drive to traffic. Trucks and cars will need to be moved off the lot or to the far outer edge of the lot. Security will dictate this. Remember, a key point of landing in this area is the extreme rotor wash. Trash containers, particularly those with no top or cover, are a specific source of additional debris and hazard. Be sure these are closed, covered, or removed prior to landing. Ground-level helipads are particularly prone to blowing debris. Check the dock area regularly for loose trash and items that can be blown or projected as the aircraft approaches. Remember that particulate matter such as sand and dirt will be blown in a blasted fashion and can be blinding to anyone experiencing rotor wash. Once the helipad is deemed clear by security, the pilot and flight crew must confirm they have clearance to land via radio from the transfer center prior to landing in the alternate landing zone. If the pilot, upon arrival, deems the alternate landing zone unsecure, the pilot has the authority to reroute to the Memphis hangar to land the patient safely. If this is the case, WingCom will be notified and they will notify the transfer center of the reroute due to an unsecure landing zone. The transfer center will notify the medic of the team to return to the Memphis hangar to transport the patient via ambulance. We will go over landing at the Memphis hangar momentarily. Also, due to the rotor wash and increased hazard of flying debris, everyone should remain inside the hospital when the aircraft is landing. Only after the aircraft has landed should the doors be opened to retrieve the patient. A gurney from the emergency department or a gurney from the helipad, if an isolette, must be retrieved by the security or the facilitating hospital staff assisting with the loading or the offloading of the patient. Under no circumstances should there be a hot offload in the alternate landing zone for patients' and staff's safety. Now we will cover landing at alternate sites. PD flight transports not landing at the Le Bonheur alternate landing zone will land at Hospital Wing. Once the transfer center and WingCom has been notified of the reroute due to an unsecure landing zone, the medic of the team will reposition the ambulance at Hospital Wing and the side of the helipad. Any other helicopter teams other than PD Flight may deem it necessary to land at an alternate site. Helicopters from these services typically will land at the DeWitt, Spain airport and then transport the patients by ground ambulance. The transfer center, through WingCom, can help coordinate these calls as well, but it is the other service's responsibility to coordinate landing and transfer from an alternate landing zone. Thank you. Be careful on the helipad and be safe.